Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John, and Meteora is one of my top 10 favorite albums of all time. Linkin Park are a band that I credit with so many things in my musical taste, my upbringing, and songs like Breaking the Habit with genuinely being life-saving songs for me, and I do not say that lightly. They're a very important band to me, and it has been incredibly painful, as I'm sure it has for many of you as well, to listen to Linkin Park since Chester Bennington passed away, dying by suicide in 2017. It was a day that I unfortunately will never forget, and it's something that I almost disassociate with at this point. I've never been able to go back and watch my initial video that I made filming in my car, just pulled over on the side of the road that day after getting the news from my at the time girlfriend, now wife, and just feeling completely hopeless. And now it feels like at a time in my life when I could really use a friend like that again, an album to lean on. Meteora was that for me. I will never forget the first time hearing those notes of the glass breaking and going into Don't Stay, being out with my friends, skating, and just the purity of that, the innocence of the time, but at the same time trying to figure myself out. And I know that that's what that band meant to millions of people, and I was lucky enough to get to meet the band, to get to talk with all of them. I have one of my most prized possessions, a signed Meteora CD with all of the members' signatures on it. I got to personally chat with Chester. This was 2014 on the Hunting Party tour, and he said some things to me that were just incredibly inspirational, just along the lines of like, do not quit doing what you're doing. He had posted my review, and this isn't so much to just sit back and be like, oh, look at all these amazing things that happened to me that maybe didn't happen for you. It's just steps along the road that really got me through to where I am now, and I want to give credit back because, as many people have pointed out, it's like all of these adoring fans, these voices, these people saying, you saved me, and it's like he couldn't quite get there to the point of self-love and saving himself. I'm sorry it probably sounds like I'm a little bit shaken up. It's because I am. I reacted to this song initially on stream using my VPN to get it a little bit early, and I will show you just a little bit of that now because Warner Brothers can be really bad about that stuff and block Now that I've had some more time to just be alone with it, to sit with it, to even see the music video, which I think is well done. I'm not going to talk about that a ton. I want to talk about the song itself and how impactful I feel it is. What a banger of a tune it is, because this song is massive. I mean, this is a demo, a leftover. Most bands, this is their A tier, S tier, whatever you want to call it, song. But the music video is pretty well done. I know it was done by like an NFT artist that Mike Shinoda works with. I hate NFTs, I could care less. The art is pretty solid. It's done in the vein of like an anime style along the lines of Breaking the Habit. It's nowhere near as great as that one, but it still brought back a lot of very nostalgic, warm, but also cold feelings with the atmosphere. As far as the song itself goes, oh man, this was a dagger straight through the heart. This song is incredible. I love the atmosphere. Everything about this screams classic Linkin Park, and I cannot wait. I feel like I am foaming at the mouth wanting to hear the rest of these lost demos at this point, and I didn't get the super deluxe box set, but it's fine. Doesn't matter, because I could not feel more content with the song and the way that everything turned out. With Lost, that chorus is instantly striking. Classic Linkin Park. But beyond that, Chester's voice is just so vulnerable, so raw, but as powerful as ever. An absolute powerhouse talent. And not to discredit the rest of the band, but Chester soars on this track. The light turntable scratches, Mike Shinoda's almost whispered follow-up lines. I don't want to call them ad-libs. I know that's what people would probably know them as now, because it feels more like a call and respond thing. It was just a tether, a bond that they had as vocalists. And that guitar coming in, just sizzling, especially on the bridge. I love the switch up. It tacks on a little bit more of a hip-hop feel in the bridge section of the track. Going back, shooting into that final chorus, I could not hold back my tears. Combing through the lyrics of the track, there's a lot, especially in the second verse, that just really stood out to me, where Chester is talking about his pain and just falling back to these things, trusting people, putting his trust on the wrong person, and then essentially being betrayed. And I think a lot of people get it so wrong and twisted with Linkin Park. They take simplicity in lyrics and say, oh, that makes them a bad band. It makes them like a juvenile thing, whatever. And I think, as many of you would probably also affirm, show of hands in the comments, this band's simplicity is not like the bands that tried to copy them, ride the coattails. Their simplicity was vulnerability, and that's Mike and Chester. And Chester in particular, if you really sit there and dissect some of the lyrics on Meteora especially, Hybrid Theory, those first early records especially, I think that you get a clearer view of where his mind was at. And on this track, Lost, it just breaks my heart. Knowing what happened to Chester, the unfortunate, untimely end that he met, and just saying things like, you know, I can never be saved, it's almost too much to handle. I do not in any way mean to make this like all about me or try to paint myself into the scenario, but what I wanted to add is that right now, what I was kind of alluding to with this song feeling like a friend, something to lean on in a time of need, I've been going through a lot in the past year. It's been a very confusing time. I've had some deaths in the family, going back and forth with different medications. I finally, at the start of 2021, after years of just battling it alone without medication, I decided to seek help, and I started trying out different antidepressants, obviously with the recommendations and advice of my doctor. And I'm currently in the process of coming off of one and just going to another. It's been a very difficult time. Anyone who has come off of antidepressants probably knows how much that can really mess with you and mess with your head. And this song just felt like a warm hug from... The song just kind of felt like a warm hug, a blessing from like the other side somewhere. Just like, you're still out there somewhere, and obviously the music lives on. And even though I have had to distance myself from them, not because of them, just from the music a bit, because it is very painful, it is also a pain that makes it worthwhile. Coming back to songs that are new, like this, that we've never heard before, and them being this incredible, it just proves what Linkin Park were capable of doing. And again, this is a B-side, and if this is just one of the many songs that we've never heard before, demos, everything like that, I am going to be gobbling this up. I cannot wait for April 7th. I'm sorry if this video had a bit of an unconventional vibe to it, but I appreciate you watching and sticking around to the end here. Obviously, I am loving this song. A massive thumbs up. I know some people ask me, what would you rate it out of 5? And honestly, this is probably a 5 out of 5 track for me. That's probably objectively, critically wrong, but I adore it. I know I am going to be playing the hell out of this song.